let's discuss the Syracuse secondary for this upcoming season. Again, we are less than 3 weeks away from the start of the Syracuse football regular season, Saturday, November 5th at noon against New Hampshire at home. Like the linebackers, the guys that are standing out the most are two players that we expected to stand out the most. You have Chris Peal, who is a preseason all-conference corner. Demetres Samuel, an emerging true sophomore corner. Peal and Samuel together as a cornerback duo, they give Syracuse a really strong foundation in the secondary. They are the guys that significantly elevate the floor of the secondary to where even if the depth isn't that good for Syracuse, they should still have at minimum an average secondary in the ACC solely because you have two really strong corners. But the question with the secondary has always been the depth, and it's going to continue being the depth until we really get to see this unit in action. And it's not just against New Hampshire. We're talking about really week 2 when Syracuse plays Cal and, of course, into the regular season when they play ACC competition and Notre Dame and other teams as well, like UConn. So it's always been the depth. If the depth is good for Syracuse in the secondary, then this unit could be elite. We're talking about a secondary that could be one of the 3 to 5 best units in the ACC if they stay healthy and the depth is good, because you have two guys who are legitimate all-conference caliber players starting at corner with Demetres Samuel and Chris Peal. You got your legitimate foundational players in the secondary. It's really about what this depth is going to turn into. Now, we have some answers. We have some standouts. The two top safeties, one of which we've talked about as this guy's likely going to be a starter, and the other, well, he's making a position change, but it appears to be going very well. So let's talk about Brahim Long. He is the guy that we expected was going to be a starter when we were talking about this secondary back when we did that preview podcast. He has had a great camp. He has added 20 pounds of muscle per this coaching staff. He's got the black jersey, so he's really standing out. And he appears to be ready to be a starting safety for Syracuse football. So that is good news, Brahim Long Jr. The other one is Davion Kerr. And Davion Kerr is a little bit of a surprise. He is transitioning to safety from corner. He was not the greatest corner, in my opinion. He definitely flashed a little bit as a true freshman, but last year I did not think he had a good year. But with his transition to safety, he's starting to look a little bit better. He appears to be ahead of a guy by the name of Cornell Perry, and that's a little bit of a surprise because we figured that Cornell Perry was likely going to be a starting safety, and that could still be the case. Don't get me wrong. It could absolutely still be the case, but it is still a little bit of surprise that Davion Kerr is having a great camp and is ahead of Cornell Perry, at least according to reports out there. Perry has appeared in 33 games. He made 7 starts last year for Syracuse in the secondary, but at the same time, he's not Ed Reed. So if he ultimately gets usurped, he gets usurped. As far as the slot corner is concerned, it was a little bit unclear. We thought, at least heading into the offseason, that it was going to be Davion Kerr, but Davion Kerr is obviously going to safety. So now it looks like it's going to be Nazir Ward from Western Kentucky. Nazir Ward has not played the nickel since high school, but he recently said, quote, DB is DB. I can play anywhere. Whatever the coaches need me to play, I can play, end quote. It's the right mindset, right attitude, and he certainly appears confident in his abilities, and the staff appears confident as well with him playing the nickel for Syracuse football. So overall, as we discussed the Syracuse secondary, the top players are the top players. Chris Peal, all-conference corner. Demetres Samuel, emerging talent, second highest rated defender last year on Pro Football Focus on the Syracuse defense, and he was a 17-year-old true freshman. You figure he's going to get better this season, and even if he doesn't, even if he remains exactly the same, he is still a reliable corner and a starting corner in the ACC. But it's the depth. It's all about the depth that is going to separate this unit from being an average unit to being an elite top 3 to top 5 unit in the ACC. Nazir Ward starting slot corner in all likelihood. Brahim Long starting safety. And for now, it looks like Davion Kerr is the other starting safety, but you're still going to have Cornell Perry that is mixed in there as well with playing time. Toledo's Amari Snowden, who they picked up in the transfer portal. He was injured, but he is reportedly out of his boot. So if he's getting healthy, maybe he can factor in with getting some playing time as well. You also have Jay Eugene, Javon Lawrence, Darius Hughes, a true freshman. They also appear to be backups, but you never quite know, especially in football where there's injuries, there can be underperformance. So they got to stay ready.